Hello, everyone. I think I nailed the right time, but I may have been a little early. Hello, everyone. My name is Trups LP, and welcome to a special edition of this week's political recap. I want to start out by apologizing for being a day late, but if you're watching this after the fact or on Spotify, it really won't matter to you guys at all. Joining me, as always, is Omegon. Please say hello, Omegon.
We have 89 followers on Spotify. We are rock stars.
Woohoo!
It's up 2 from
Yes.
yesterday.
Is it really?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
told me. Yeah.
Hello,
Um,
Omegon.
Yes. Hello, Omegon. How is Omegon? I apologize for kind of throwing you to the dogs yesterday. That was kind of rude of me.
Doesn't matter. It happens from time to time. Even I forget things, so it's quite all right. I'm all right. Bit worn out from my day's activities. I looked at my little stats. It's 32,000 steps and 28 kilometers ridden.
Ooh.
Busy day.
So,
Lots of travel.
That's what you get. You get a whole lot of riding from Meg.
But
good.
I got a new hoodie that arrived today. I was very happy. And that's it, actually. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't have much else.
Exciting.
Yeah, I to be honest, a new hoodie is exciting. Is it for
No,
me?
I don't get to own hoodies anymore.
Is that because
They're
of your
donated. Yes.
Yes.
They're donated
Cuck.
against my will.
Oh right, okay. That's unfortunate. I've just realised
Yeah.
last night's chat is still on my end. I don't know if anyone else can see it, but I think the last message from yesterday is Trupp saying, "I apologise all, no excuses, I'm sorry." If that's the case, hello everyone in the chat. I'm really sorry.
No, you have a couple other people. You have Lulu Bell, Gemma, Great Sky Troll,
Gemma.
Cyrene. Oh, was it Gemma, not Gemma?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I never want to hear the giraffe or GIF argument ever again.
Oh,
Okay?
the GIF thing. It's not a GIF, it's a GIF.
No. If it's not, if it's fucking Gemma.
Oh, the pronunciation arguments go on forever, and then I realised
I
that a
know.
lot of that can be easily resolved by just being American and simply changing it to a different word entirely.
It's true. For some reason, we decided that U's weren't allowed in certain words.
Isn't
Like
coriander
color.
cilantro over there?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I mean.
I don't know why that change in particular happened.
Might be that.
I could not honestly explain it to you.
I always thought cilantro was the original name. Perhaps that was why.
Hmm.
I don't
Maybe.
know. How's
I don't-
Trups LP, by the way?
I'm okay. I wasn't injured. I was just stupid yesterday. So because I had gotten a message asking me if I was okay. Yes, I'm fine. Just dumb. It's fine. But otherwise, no, I'm fine and dandy. Trying to move on with my life as fast as possible. Work has been lovely and boring for the last week.
That's good.
As always.
Regular work, though. That's good, isn't it?
Yes. I will never complain about still having work. I will complain occasionally about it being boring, though.
Perhaps when everyone's back in work, then you have a real point to drive home.
Yes, exactly.
That's just it.
So we don't have a whole lot from the UK today.
Yeah, not really.
We have a couple of things that happened this week on American soil. Now, a lot of it's not actions taken per se. It's more like conversations had, things that people have said, politicians, etc. That lend themselves to a much more kind of terrifying, I guess, a world to live in than I think most people would like to talk about.
Where would you like to start?
Well, let's start in California. Are you aware the Gavin Newsom? Do you know that name?
The name sounds familiar, but I'm not entirely sure why.
Gavin Newsom is the governor of California.
Huh.
He was one of the schmucks who had basically set a bunch of rules that he didn't want to follow himself.
Is he
Um,
the one that was he the one that was promoting people not being charged for HIV spreading?
Yeah, he was one of them, I believe. I believe he was talking about that. He was the person who was caught several times going out to fancy dinner parties.
Oh, you one rule for
Uh,
thee, not for me.
yes. Yeah, he had gone out to fancy dinner parties. And when caught, he was like, "Nuh-uh."
Okay, I now know who you're talking about. I remember.
Yes. Well, the people of California, have signed a petition to remove him from office.
How many?
Pretty much like your snap elections recalls, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. How's that working out?
Well, one of the people that is up for the spot is former Olympic medalist Caitlyn Jenner.
All right, that's all right.
All right. So what's really interesting about this is that Caitlyn Jenner is actually a California Republican.
So is
And
Schwarzenegger, to be fair.
yes, correct. However, because she at one point had supported Trump, you had a lot of people come out against Caitlyn Jenner.
That's brave.
In fact, so much so that Joy Behar on The View actually deliberately had misgendered Caitlyn Jenner
Well, that's the
several times, calling
that
her a he.
that's the argument of you're the wrong kind of trans. Therefore, your transness is an otherness. You are delegitimized because you did not vote
Well, that
the way your views should vote.
yes, exactly that
It's
part
it's
right
like it's
there.
like it's like those
It's
who are
the
black
you
conservative.
don't believe what we believe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They call them in UK.
Um,
They're called Uncle Toms usually because they sympathise with the
oh,
white people.
yeah. Well, we'll actually get back to that term in a little bit when we get to the joint press conference or the joint session.
Oh really?
Because because that totally shows up in the relevant
no.
information.
I look forward to it.
Unfortunate, right?
Yeah. Not that anyone heard
But
about
anyway,
it.
so some of the left, some of the more moderate left, and some of the younger left are basically calling out the establishment left who are misgendering Caitlyn. I saw it on some of my Facebook posts, and you know how much I get along with the people on my Facebook. But they were saying, no, it's not okay to deliberately misgender them. It is okay not to vote for them, but don't be an asshole. And I was like, you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. Good on you. Because at least that is holding some semblance of consistency in your views, and I appreciate that. And there's not enough of that amongst left wingers, so I'm totally fine with hearing about individuals, saying, "No, it's fine." We're going to hold our own to our own standards. I think that's a good thing.
Do you?
What do you mean? Do I?
I'm just asking as a question.
No, of course. I mean,
Good.
I think it's a good thing.
Good.
Okay. But yeah, so that's basically it. I don't know if she's a good choice for the job. We don't know much of her policies.
Well, it's the same with Schwarzenegger, isn't it? Nobody knew anything about his capacity to be governor until he did it. And if memory serves, the one thing he had to do was the one thing he didn't want to do. And no one wants to do it, really, and that was raise taxes. But California needed their taxes raised because they're just... It's just impossible. And he was fairly...
So much you can do.
Yeah, he was fairly successful. Did you one term or two?
I mean, he's one of the most popular governors, I would say, in the last decade. So
yeah,
I think he's actually one of the only governors in the last decade besides Newsom. So
well then,
yeah.
So didn't he introduce hydrogen cars as well over there or something?
He did a lot, actually.
Yeah.
He was a very reasonable guy from the outside. If anybody here is from California who wants to say no, I'm wrong, please tell me. I wasn't into politics as much back then.
I wasn't either. I just heard about it. I think I was at university at the time. I think. Maybe. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Right. So yeah, that was one of the interesting things that had happened. Another one. So I believe. Did I ever tell you about the CDC mask mandate? Was that something that we talked about last week?
No, but I did mention it in my EOSP where they said... no, actually we did. But it carried on because others have... so the CDC have said you don't need to wear masks.
Yes.
But others have come out and said, no, I'm going to keep wearing my masks. And I'll quote Alyssa Milano, who tweeted out that she won't because people around the world are still suffering from COVID. So, in effect, she's wearing it as in solidarity.
Yeah, actually, well, ironically, doing that, especially using that mentality, right?
Virtue.
They used to say that that the mask was about saving people, not about virtue signaling. But I guess Alyssa Milano had missed that fucking part of the story because, whoops.
She makes a lot of whoops, doesn't she?
She makes more whoops than she does good, so...
At this point in her career, yes, she does. Air quotes around that word, of course. Career. I find it fascinating because you mentioned the otherness sort of mentality of essentially you're identified only by your what apparently is your only defining characteristic, be that your transitioning or gender, I guess by extension, or your race. It's that same thing of you've turned anyone into a novelty and not realised by extension of that idea you are transphobic, you are racist, you are that very thing you claim to fight against, which is quite useless really, isn't it?
Well, unfortunately, that was kind of how it was. It always ended up being. Like, this is not news to a lot of the people who have been around the space for a while. Like, we've said this a long time. Like, it's always been, hey, you guys are acting in such a way that is totally contrary to your purported beliefs. And they're like, well, you just don't understand the nuance, or, no, this isn't the case. Well, at a certain point, there's only so much BS that you could pull off and actually expect people to believe you.
Yeah.
But I guess, no one's gonna call them on it, which is really the the shitty part about it, right? But actually, you reminded me of something that I haven't looked into much myself, but perhaps you can shed some light on this. This wasn't necessarily related to either of our countries directly, but how much have you read about India?
So, we in the UK have been discussing India a fair amount. India has been reported on almost every single day, whether that be because the hospitals are now overrun, the dead bodies are piled high, people were carrying their dead relatives out of hospital to bury them in tuk-tuks. And if they fell out of the ambulance, they'd have to go pick the body up out of wherever they ended up in a gutter to take them to be buried or burned.
See, now I haven't read nearly as much, but I had gotten a text during the week from my fiance saying, hey, have you heard about what's happening in India? And I was like, well, I know that they're having a massive uptick in COVID cases. And they're like, no, it's worse than just uptick in COVID cases.
It's the
they're
worst.
They're burying bodies on top of each other.
They are.
Or they're burning bodies on top of each other.
Sorry, burning. Yeah, that is actually true. And I think it's quite fascinating. Wasn't India... by the way, consider this tinfoil hat. It was just oddly convenient to me that I had read India was prepping to go to war with China. and then India's brought down by COVID.
Oh, okay. So I won't say out loud my conspiracy theory on that.
Yeah, let's not go
But
with that.
let's just say that I have gone through the extensive thought process required to guess why it is that India, with their borders threatened by China, may be suffering from an extreme bout of COVID.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
we'll ignore that because it is disclaimer. That is for those on YouTube and on Spotify, not going to be said aloud, nor is it going to be shared as anything other than a thought that's just occurred into one's mind, not something anyone has had a amount of time to think about it. Don't even say it, Trups. So we'll.
oh, I'm not going to. That was where I was going to end it.
Yeah, for the sake of it, I know for the sake of it, I know that I'm. Try again. I'm very much aware that India is genuinely suffering to the point that we, the UK, are sending supplies, but we're not entirely sure it'll be enough. It's also somewhat ironic considering we were importing vast amounts of PPE from India, that they now need it all back. And that's not really enough. Obviously, they need vaccines. They need a rollout vastly superior to the UK's. If let's entertain the idea of the word vaccine, shall we? You know what I mean? They need a lot of help, and of course, in that context, we should help. Not least because they're part of the Commonwealth.
If I remember correctly, Joe Biden actually, during the speech that we'll talk about in a little bit, I believe he even mentioned that we've done so much so far with our vaccines, that we're actually sending some of our ordered vaccines to India specifically.
Well, you guys, event once, and as much as people want to say it was Biden, no, it wasn't. Operation Warp Speed or whatever has worked, hasn't it?
Yes, and actually, this week I actually got my first shot.
Not bad.
I know. I'm a terrible person.
I have not had a shot at all, but that's only because I was offered it, and the offer didn't go anywhere because we had a shortage because the EU withheld our, vaccines. But that's fine. Under 40s will be offered at some point in the next couple of weeks. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I got more pressing things to worry about at the moment.
And I had spoken to my doctor about hey, what do you think about all this stuff with the vaccines and whatnot? And he goes, it's pretty interesting, honestly. All things considered. And he and I actually went through the whole process of how the vaccine actually works, because he and I like to actually just talk about these things. Plus, it helps me formulate some of my more medically related opinions. But what was it? One of the things that was communicated was that the Operation Warp Speed, what actually people are complaining about when they say oh, it was rushed, the concern that some people have about the vaccine, it's actually not as rushed in the sense that there was a process that went into it that cut down time, yes, but the cut down of time came basically between the first phase and the second phase, when you would have a committee of individuals get together and then review the findings from the first phase.
Yeah.
Apparently, what ended up happening was, instead of waiting for that committee to meet and then start recruiting for trials of the second phase, they just said meet immediately and also start recruiting. So this cut out about 6 months worth of time. That's
unfortunate. No, I'm kidding.
It's a good thing now.
Yeah.
But that's what our normal situation is like with these vaccines, which is pretty garbage, actually. If our normal vaccines take this long just because of bureaucracy, damn, we should do better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the random things that I had experienced this week, so that was fun.
Congratulations.
Well, I mean, it's part of what's the BS that everyone's saying? We're all in this together. From your fucking yacht.
No, I'll stick to people in people saying once it was racist to use the term "we the people," to then use it as an ad slogan the moment Biden was elected. Hello,
Interesting.
Hello, Tommy Hilfiger. Yes, I saw the YouTube ads.
Oh, it happened?
Yeah, I don't use ad
Do we
blocker.
have ads again?
Oh no, I mean, when I watched other
okay,
videos,
okay,
I remember
okay.
seeing it. I just don't use ad blocker, and no, I turn the ads off after the stream.
Okay.
Smash like, people.
Yes, please and thank you. For our impromptu session. This is actually pretty good. 41 people watching. I really do appreciate you guys joining us today.
Genuinely.
On your Saturday.
And if you are at all interested, as we're on 89 followers on Spotify, please consider following us there. We are trying to, I'd say hit 100 by the end of the month. May, that is, since it's the first.
Right.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Oh god, what was the other thing that I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah. So one of the interesting things that came out of that India thing. Remember how Biden called the travel bans from China racist?
Oh, travel bans. I saw this.
There's a travel ban for India.
I also
I'm not gonna lie, I get it.
I get it too. There's a thing in Australia. It is illegal for anyone. There are a bunch of cricket players, Australian, who can't come home because it is illegal to do so. And alcohol_fund donated $5. Saturday's a day for fun. Smash like. Thank you for donating to Trupsloop. It's very kind of you.
Thank you.
But the cricket players can't come home, and if they did, they'd be sent to prison straight away. And I get it.
Prison's a little much, dude.
Honestly, Australia is taking this very seriously. And they love their cricket, which is really strange, considering it's so bloody boring. But yeah.
Now, are they in India?
What? Hang on, what?
The cricket players, are they from Australia or in Australia?
From Australia in India, because India has a Super League.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought.
And that's where, because India loves cricket, there's a lot of money there. A lot of money. It's like if you want to play soccer, you go to the UK, I guess. I mean, there are some European teams, but they have pay caps. Yeah. Or if you are in your twilight years, you go to China, and they've got a Super League, and the money.
You don't go to Italy, because their Super League kind of fell through. You see that?
Yeah.
I heard a little bit about it. I was like, hey.
Thank you, cricket players, for the £3 donation. That's very kind of you. And I should now also say, as an update to everyone who's interested, on YouTube you'll notice a donation bar called New Moist Ski Live Set. Now, Trups and I have discussed this at great length. There was some art done, but and it's been paid for, but we've decided not to use it in favour of going for something, and we've paid for it. So the update is that within a week or two, it says 7 days, but we'll see, we should have new art for us, which should hopefully look like another room on my Defiant class vessel.
I'm excited because I've always kind of wanted to keep this like
continuity,
thematical like continuity going on.
Yeah, I'd like that too. And then once that's done, we can then seek to sort out other aspects like Avatar for you mostly, because I have a sat Avatar and I can use that.
Cool.
But we'll see. So with the cricket, I mean, there is another back on topic, another travel ban in effect. And you might have known about this, and that was that some commentators have been placed on no-fly zone, no-fly list. Is that what it's called?
Yes, no fly
and
list.
they're in the US. And I think the more notable one, I believe, was, and thank you, Mel Clump, for the $5 super chat. That's very kind of you. The more notable one, I believe, was Nick Fuentes, who was at the Capitol Hill, air quotes on this word, everyone, riot. End air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
I call it a yard sale. Because I'm a dick.
It's definitely not what they wanted it to be.
It was the most efficient one ever.
One of the comments that fucking Biden made during his 100-day speech. I know I'm gonna keep fucking mentioning this back and forth, but it's the theme, so whatever.
Yeah.
Was that the Capitol Hill quote unquote riots was the greatest threat to our democracy in history, and I'm thinking to myself, we had a fucking civil war.
I've had a couple of them. Yeah.
We had literal terrorist attacks on some of our financial institutions, some of our international financial institutions that were created through our democratic process. So I don't know what the fuck he's on about, but okay.
I also want to say, if anyone says the terrorist attack is anyone dealing in stonks, I will fight you.
You know, there's actually like some concerns in certain companies that if you own certain crypto, that you could be beholden to China and you would have to declare that on a background check.
Did you know that the girl who when she was a child, 4 years old, her dad took a photo of her in front of a burning house and she was smiling? It became one of the biggest memes on the planet, didn't it? Right, well, yeah. She sold it for over 400,000 crypto. She got it in cryptocurrency. I was so happy for her. She's like 21 now. I think she split the money with her dad, and she got her share of it is in cryptocurrency. Some form of Ethereum. Amazing. I don't know which one it is, but it's a form of it.
As long as it's not in Doge, you're fine.
And Zombie Teddy, what is a stonk? Trups?
Stonk? If I have to explain it, it's too late for you.
Yes.
No, stonk is meme word for stock.
Yeah, stock market stuff, but essentially.
Yeah.
The very first stream we put on Spotify actually is Reddit. Was it Reddit Deals in Stonks? I think that's what it's called.
I think yeah.
It was good. It was a good stream because it wasn't very political at all. It was a little, but not really.
Not as much as some of the other ones that we've done. So that's a bonus.
Last week's did exceptionally well. I was very happy with that. But yeah, I almost listened to episodes. The first one, Reddit Deals in Stonks.
Yeah, and that was all about the GameStop stock.
Dogecoin.
And Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
You know, honestly, if anybody who had watched that at the time. Anybody who would watch that at the time had bought Doge then, they would be doing fantastically.
Yeah. Stonks, the stonks are still growing, and thank you, by the way, to Fine for the donation. I'm very grateful you've done that. It's very kind. Thank you. Essentially, our set bar has been reached.
Oh, that's
thank you. Even though I paid for it last night.
Thank you. Wow.
Very grateful. That. Yes, we both do. Fingers crossed for results. Where were we?
We were talking about stonks.
Stonks.
Stonks. There's one more thing. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go into the 100 days thing because I keep mentioning it, so I might as well talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Joe Biden has finally had a joint session of Congress speech. Right.
Oh yeah.
It's not technically a State of the Union. It should be, but it's technically not. But it's essentially an address to the joint session of Congress.
Okay.
And he gave an hour and a few minute long speech, which was then followed up by a response by the Republicans by Tom Cotton.
Okay.
Senator from South Carolina.
Okay.
During Biden's speech, it was a whole lot of the same kind of fluff BS that you'd expect from politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Very much like the old guard of they're lying to your face, but like, what can you do about it?
Not much, really.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was drinking. And so there wasn't. Unfortunately, there's a whole lot in that we wish we could do anything about, but there's not really much to talk about in that aspect because most of it's lies and we know it. However, there are some notable things that he talked about. So there's the infrastructure bill, which is the oh god, is it 1.9 trillion dollars?
Oh, that was the
Democrats.
that was the bill that got passed. Yes.
Yes, that is the one that they are still. I think they're actually still arguing about it in the Senate. I believe it passed the House, but not the Senate.
I'm surprised.
Because right now the Senate is having issues deciding. Okay, this is an infrastructure bill, but only 600 billion of it goes to infrastructure. You know, roads, bridges.
Yeah, it
etc.
defeats the point if it's not actually doing its job.
Right. And some of the complaints from the individuals on Capitol Hill, notably the Democrats, have been to basically put up a false statement about how the Republicans are treating this. One of the things that they're saying is that the Republicans, apparently don't want to deal with the infrastructure. They don't want to help these issues. Who would have thought that infrastructure would be a complicated issue? All the while ignoring the fact that Republicans have said, "Hey, look, your bill covers infrastructure in $600 billion. We'll pass that part right now."
So I have a question.
Yeah.
You say that 600 billion is infrastructure, and that's what the Senate. But this surprises me because I didn't expect it to be so much like actual business of, yeah, no, this doesn't actually do what it's supposed to do, so we can't pass it. I would have thought party lines would, in this instance, play a part in it.
Well, they are, and that's why there's so much basically mudslinging happening in the media right now about this plan.
But they own this. They control the Senate, don't they? With the VP.
No, they have. Well, okay, yeah, if they want to ramrod it through. But the thing is, there are some moderate Democrats that they need to convince. Joe Manchin being one of them. Joe Manchin being a Democrat from West Virginia. I had told Meg this before the stream. Being a Democrat from West Virginia is kind of like being a Republican from California. You're still very the other way. You're still going to lean into the area you live in rather than the letter beside your name.
Okay.
So they have to convince some of the moderate Democrats to go along with basically frivolous spending for purposes of, I don't know, causing massive inflation.
So instead of we've got some character assassination going on because why not?
Right.
Why don't they just ramrod it through? Because they can, with the media on their side, they can still spin this regardless.
Because I think they like being able to cast the shadow of they're not working with us.
Oh, right.
Because if it's over, then they look like they ramrodded it through. But if they stretch it out, they could say, "Oh, we're trying. We want to do this, but those pesky Republicans, they just won't sign our bill.
This is why
we don't want to have to, just ramrod it through That's not democracy. It's so much bullshit. It's like
all week I saw people saying the Republican Party needs to die because the Republican Party, as it is, no longer represents the people and is betraying the people because of this. I now know what it was talking about.
Was it this?
Yes.
Wow.
It had to be because because to be fair, that's what people were moaning about. I'm thinking, well, if the bill says it's meant to be for something. And I mean, I'll be honest, I see it a lot. I remember seeing it in like TV show The West Wing, where they would talk about negotiating bills with other parties and other groups that weren't receptive to it. So they kept slapping additional funds onto things, but all of it wasn't for what the original bill was intended. And I'm just sat here like, so what's the point of having it on there? Oh, it's what you do to stay in power. It's like, no, that's what you do when you bend over, mate.
So in my AP Gov, or rather civics classes, we would call this an omnibus bill, and an omnibus bill basically talks about how it's got a name, sure, but it's just got so many different policies inside it that it's a clusterfuck. And there's good and bad to omnibus bills. Omnibus bills usually mean that theoretically, if you were to actually do this in such a way that it would be, with the other party, you could actually have an omnibus bill where some people get some things, other people get other things, and it would just be all inclusive, right?
Yeah.
That would be how you would actually do a, bipartisan omnibus bill. Now, of course, that's not going to fucking happen. Because anything that the Republicans want, they will literally just use the power that they have in the executive and the House to say, nah, we're going to never give you what you want. And you're going to fucking like it. Legitimately, that's how it goes. Because... Okay, Republicans, you're having the argument where we need to spend on infrastructure. Sure, Republicans agree. Let's spend that $600 billion you allocated. We agree with it. Well, no, we're not going to do that. Well, why not? Well, because we want everything else. Okay, but it's called an infrastructure bill, and we want to work with you on this. We're totally fine with doing this. Well, yeah, but we can't do the things that you want to do. We have to do the things that we want to do.
Yeah.
It was the same thing, and this is actually poignant to the response that Tom Cotton, senator from South Carolina, had done after Biden. Senator Tom Cotton had put forward a police reform bill after George Floyd had died. Do you want to guess what happened to that bill?
I don't want to.
I think it got filibustered and died.
Yeah, I was wondering whether or not it get either ramrodded or filibustered. To be fair,
it got filibustered and died.
Oh, I love a filibuster. Did he pull out a cookbook?
Now what they're trying to do is they're trying to pass the George Floyd Act, which is essentially another set of police reform bills, a lot of which actually were Tom Cotton's ideas. They were in his original bill. The only thing that they're currently arguing on is the getting rid of qualified immunity. Now, you guys have qualified immunity for your politicians, just as we do for ours, and we also have it for basically the rule for qualified immunity is that in the pursuit of your job, if you do something that would cause a civil dispute, you are immune from such things.
Right.
This does not preclude you from criminal prosecution, just civil liability. So you can still be prosecuted for criminal things, but they are pushing forward a narrative that makes people believe that if you get rid of qualified immunity, cops can shoot black people whenever they want. Or if you allow qualified immunity to stay in, they can just do that, and they can never be held accountable. No, that's not how that works. They still get arrested. They still get fired if an investigation leads it to that point. The problem that you have is actually with the system being filled with people who won't actually follow through with the law. Just ask your local politician when the last time that a politician got actually put away for the amount of time that they should have for the severity of their crimes. Actually, I think you could ask the UK at the moment. So that's one of the things that they're arguing against, and they literally won't let it go. they won't let Tom Cotton even push forward this bill without considering getting rid of qualified immunity, which at this point Republicans are just like, no, we're not going to do that, because if we said yes to your idea of getting rid of qualified immunity, that means that not only do cops have to worry about the current, sentiment surrounding cops in this country, but that also means that at any point, you are telling me that a cop could worry that arresting a person could cost them their house, their job, their family's financial security, just cuz.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to be willing to take that risk. That's why we need qualified immunity, so that they don't worry that arresting somebody is going to cost them an arm and a leg. They don't care, though, because they're advocates of private security. You know, those things that regular people can afford, right?
Oh, of course, private is well known for being affordable and reasonably costed.
Now, I want to point out that this is not just, the activists pushing for this. No, this is the government pushing for this. And
Shocker.
This is looping back into one of the statements that Joe Biden had made during the 100-day speech, which was, I want to get the actual quote. There it is. Sick. We the people. It's time we remembered that we the people are the government. You and I. Not some force in a distant capital, not some powerful force that we have no control over. It's us. It's we the people. Said by President Joe Biden. Now, I want those in the United States to currently take their jaw off the floor. Because, yes, in fact, Joe Biden has no fucking idea what what the Constitution means or what the point was.
Doesn't surprise me he doesn't know what the Constitution means. The guy could barely do the entire speech, and he fumbled over Russia again.
Yes, he did, but at this point, it's just we're expecting that.
It's just a meme.
Yeah. For those who are not necessarily understanding why I made those comments about we the people, the easiest way to describe it is to say that the government in the United States is ideally supposed to work for the common people. The government is basically employed by the people, right? In fact, the government is not we the people. We the people employ the government. We the people give them their power.
If MC's in the chat, I can imagine he's spurging the feck out over Biden. I watch his streams enough.
Why would he be spurging? Just because?
Biden, come on, man.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
if you watch his streams, you'll know what I mean. And not in a negative sense, by the way. MC's a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Very proud American.
Yes, of course. But the issue here is that Biden is fundamentally misinterpreting the Constitution, and he's telling it to the people. He's telling it to not only the people in Congress who are sitting there, but also the people at home, to the point where they would actually believe in their heart of hearts that, yes, this is my president speaking.
Yeah.
He knows what's best. Now, us cynical people, we don't necessarily believe that, but to everybody else, yeah, if your president tells you that, we the people are the government, there are some dumbasses who will literally go, yeah, he's right.
Yeah, but Joe's the same idiot. Not only does he not fundamentally understand your Constitution, but he thought the Bill of Rights could be mucked with.
He said no amendment was absolute. So yeah,
is that what he said?
Too.
Oh, jeez, I said in the chat. Sorry, I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it because we spoke about that, and yeah, that was. I mean, amendments can be amended. That's what he
Oh,
said.
well, I mean, yeah, that is true. Don't get me wrong, but
Good luck.
and yeah, and the history of the Supreme Court in the United States is essentially the history of how amendments can be abused. Um,
Yes, I've heard about that as well, oddly enough, from other political commentators.
Unfortunately, I have to concede that this is true. Not that I'm happy about it by any stretch of the imagination, but it is true. The history of the Supreme Court is basically how can the government infringe on your rights. Um,
We don't have that
but
here. We're just subjects to the crown. Our rights are infringed upon every day just for existing. But we're not like China. No, no, no. We at
no,
least
no,
we at least have two parties fighting over who can
no.
control the people war.
Sometimes I wonder if America actually has two parties, honestly,
No, you
because
don't.
sometimes, well, I think we do, but I think
In
one of
name.
them is playing the game and the other one is taking a fucking 30-year hiatus from actually having some stones.
Oh, you mean the
Um,
Republicans?
yes, the Republicans.
They lost their stone since Reagan left office.
Yes, they were like, I don't know what to do. He's
Thing is,
gone. My
the funny thing with
actor.
that is, the next president after Reagan was Bush Senior, and he didn't have any balls.
I think he had plenty of balls. He marched straight into Iraq.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Reagan was like, "Hey, those hostages in Iran, gimme now,"
Yeah.
and then then tapped the desk,
You can
and
still
then send in helicopters.
see the fingerprint on the desk still. He tapped that desk hard.
Yeah. Um.
The
Yeah,
granddad of
but
politics.
no. But for real though, the Republican Party has no fucking stones, and they haven't for a long time, and unfortunately, that is evident in both i- in both our senators and some of our court justices. Our House Republicans, some of them have balls.
Right.
Some of them. Other ones are rhinos and bullshit artists.
Well, plenty of those. We just call them
Yeah.
we call them grifters.
Yes, that is a term that we could use. Yes. But the other ones are just basically liars and cheats. The fucking woman from Alaska is kind of full of shit sometimes. I forget her fucking name.
Was it Sarah Palin?
No. She was on The Masked Singer, and she sang "Baby Got Back."
Is
I
she?
respect the fuck out of her. Bro.
I might need to watch that after this stream before I go to bed.
Yeah, Sarah Palin. Hang on, Alaska.
Do not play that video though. Get copyright strike.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not. What? How am I gonna play the video? You have control of the stream.
Hey, if it might catch the audio, you never know.
Oh god, no, I'm not going to. I was looking to see who that woman was. I think it doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, but there are plenty of rhinos in the fucking house who basically just placate the fucking Democrats, and it's fucking sickening. But just my opinion. No, so that was one of the most atrocious things that Biden had said. But the other thing that we need to talk about is Biden unveiled the American Family Plan.
The family. Oh, was this where we spoke about where I showed that tweet with trickle down economics? Or is that not connected?
Maybe? I don't know.
Well,
Is the
he
POTUS one?
said that trickle down economics doesn't work. It's time to grow the economy from the bottom up and middle out. I wonder if that was connected to it or not.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, it is. So the American Families Plan and the American Jobs Plan are essentially these two ideas that work hand in hand from the Biden administration that is supposed to give at least 4 years of free education. And that includes 3 and 4-year-olds getting free preschool and early child care, and then 2 years free of community college. Then it says that it will provide direct support to children and families. I'm reading off the White House briefing room, by the way. It says, our nation is strongest when everyone has the opportunity to join the workforce and contribute to the economy. but many workers struggle to both hold a full-time job and care for themselves and their families. The American Family Plan will provide direct support to families to ensure that low and middle class families spend no more than 7% of their income on childcare.
Okay.
I just want to point out that I don't have a single clue what they're giving us in that first two sentences versus the other one, which talked about how they were going to provide 4 years, right? Let's see here. Comprehensive paid medical leave program that will bring the American system in line with competitor nations that offer paid leave programs. So that's
It's
looking
not.
at you, the
Hang on.
UK.
Hang on. First of all, it's not a competition. There is no competitor in this. We just have a differing view, a view that actually a lot of it comes from the EU, and it's views that we echo. For example, I think depending on how many children. I think it depends on how many months. Some people can get a year off. I think paid leave. Yeah, of course. For maternity,
so you can read it too.
Generally, for the sake of it, I do think that maternity should be covered. But that's normally the it's the company that pays for it, not the government.
Well, I think what would end up happening is government subsidies.
We don't do that either.
Or I guess what's the word? It's when they incentives.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I think for us, it's because we have something. Even though we complain about ours all the time, we have something you do not have. We have workers' rights on that is a nationally enshrined law level. You don't really have that. You don't have unions.
We have right to work states. Like,
yeah.
You can be in a state where literally a employer can just go, "Thank you for your time."
Yeah. Well, we have some of that as well.
Desk.
We have some of that as well with agency workers, 0-hour contracts, all of which has slowly been erased from existence. But we have bona fide rights, which is really strange and somewhat ironic, considering we in the UK don't have, citizen rights because we're subjects. Yet you have rights, and yet when it comes to employment, no, you fucking don't.
Why did you sound so bitter?
Hey, I have good reasons. Okay,
so angry. You have rights.
I have good reasons. Okay, I'm very salty about this. All right.
I'm mad that you guys still haven't given your country still hasn't given its people a fucking written constitution.
There was talk about that. I think Mog was one of the ones that touted the idea, floated the idea of doing it. And I think it should be done. Thing is, we do technically we do have kind of, but it's in bits here and there. It's all over the place. You might find a few passages in Harry Potter. You might find some in J.R.R. Tolkien's work.
Jesus.
You might find some in some Terry Pratchett novels as well.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds hoity-toity.
Terry Pratchett.
Yeah.
You never read Lemony Snicket, huh? All right.
Oh, that's what that is?
Hang on. Oh my god, I might have gotten that wrong. It might not be him. I might be wrong. I now need to check. Lemony Snicket. Please tell me it was. Series of Unfortunate Events. Was that him? Oh, I bet I got it wrong, didn't I?
Daniel Handler?
I'm so wrong. I thought it was Terry Pratchett. I'm an absolute moron.
That's okay. You know what? If you would have been like, it was written by fucking Joe Schmo.
No, there are some really good stuff. Thing is, I don't actually read Terry Pratchett. That's why I've got it wrong. I always associate him with that for some reason. No,
I have to find out who the fuck Terry Pratchett is.
He's a fantastic writer from what I've heard, though. But you'll find some of the Constitution in the back of his works.
Oh, fancy.
I'm kidding, of course, by the way. It's just me being a dick.
No. I was going to say, his interests, apparently, according to Wikipedia, are computing, natural history, amateur astronomy.
Right.
Wow. What a all-around
he's dead now.
No. Oh, yeah, well. he can be with the stars all he wants now. Amateur astronomy. Go for the fucking stars, buddy. Let me know how it goes. I don't know why I'm being so fucking salty about that. That sounded so dickish.
Yeah. Oh
I
dear.
did not. I did not need to be that way. Anyway,
Carrying on with the Constitution thing, I guess. We UK don't have one. It says that we do, but we don't. We're subjects, not citizens. There's an argument to make it into a republic, but it won't happen. It will never. Not in my lifetime. It won't happen. That's not to say it won't entirely, but it's just not likely because the
is there
status.
any actual reason besides status quo? Like, is there like is there any other reason why there wouldn't be a like an actual constitution besides we don't want to give people rights?
I think it's because it would cost a lot of money to research and write, and the government doesn't want to be seen spending money on frivolous things unless it's a bridge from Scotland to Northern Ireland. And I think the people generally are too apathetic towards the idea. I fully support the idea of it, but I don't think it happened. And I don't think we should remove the royal family, Echo. I don't think we should at all. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm not. I'm not. It's not that I'm apathetic, but I still believe they serve a valuable purpose towards our culture and towards our economy.
I don't think it's a bad thing to necessarily have a royal family. I think people
Many
give
countries
them a
do.
lot more. I think people give them a lot more shit than they should.
Yeah,
But that's just me.
many.
I think y'all need to calm the fuck down.
Well, we try. So what other errors did
Have some
Biden
more
make, by the
fucking
way?
tea. Oh, okay. So other errors that Biden made. Oh well, wouldn't necessarily call them errors outright, but hmm. Let's pull it up. Because these were the ones that came out most in my brain. I remember he talked about China. Oh, there was one thing where he was talking about how there's no reason why wind turbines need to be built in China when they could be built here in Pittsburgh. And I was like, yeah, almost like we had an America First plan right with the guy behind you. What the fuck was his name again? Oh yeah, not fucking Joe Biden.
There was a
Um,
tweet I saw relevant to this whole, going carbon neutral or free or whatever, and it said to do so to save space, you would have to build so many nuclear power plants with carbon capture. It would actually be incredibly cost ineffective to do so and impossible to achieve.
mm, um. So hold on, with carbon net neutral, you said?
If they wanted it by 2050, the only way to do it would be to build within a space. Which state was it in? Somewhere in the mid east, but sort of a bit further inland.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to build loads of nuclear power plants, loads, to do the entire country and have carbon capture for all of them.
Well, that was always something that I had always pushed. I always said that nuclear energy was the greatest idea, but Germany, you're worried about being Fukushima, which, by the way, probably won't happen. Germany's not likely to get hit with tsunamis. Just saying. But that's apparently Germany didn't want a nuclear power plant because of that. France, on the other hand, doing perfectly fine. They've got some nuclear power plants going on. They're doing good work, honestly, with all that kind of stuff. It kind of feels bad that we can't catch up to that kind of system. We have plenty of nuclear power plants in this country. We don't have nearly enough. It's just too large. But let's see here. Yes, the $1.8 trillion economic plan. That's the jobs and the families plan. after unveiling a 2.3 trillion dollar infrastructure plan. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, Biden is slated to spend about $6 trillion. Um, so I certainly hope to God there is some um, underground vault of money that I've never known about. Otherwise, the American dollar is going to be worth shit, and we're going to be fucked. But that's just me.
I hope you find that
But
secret
I
money.
want. Yes, I do too. But because I can't necessarily find anything else truly impactful from the geriatrics speech, I want to talk about what happened after that, and that was Senator Tom Cotton going up and giving the Republican response. So, if you were on Twitter and in America after the speech, you may have noticed something was trending on Twitter, and it was two words: Uncle Tim.
Wait, is Tom Cotton?
Black.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Oh my fucking god.
And you want to know that
I saw that. It
who
was in my
trending
country.
this? It wasn't the Republicans.
Oh my god. That is such a that was on my end as well. I saw Uncle Tim and I was like, I know, that might be some TV show thing. Kids show related. I never thought to click on it because obviously I had things to do and you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, no. They started trending a parodied racial slur at an American senator because he disagreed.
That's astonishing.
That's just fucking disgusting.
I can't believe
But that's the people that we fucking that love minorities. Remember, they love minorities.
Well, that ties into that video I showed you from that tweet earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I actually have it on the screen, by the way. Do you want me to play it in full?
Yeah. Oh yeah, play it in full.
Right.
Meg had sent me this beforehand. I think you all deserve to see this.
Right, let's see if it plays with the audio. I'll hit press play then.
Us who are not black men, imagine watching the news and seeing how people...
Imagine being a black man and being told by some white lady with a microphone that you and the criminal on TV are one and the same because you look alike. Imagine being told by society that white people can be all that they can be, but you as a black man, the content of your character is completely irrelevant. You are the color of your skin, and that is all you will ever be. Imagine being told you can't figure out how to vote because of the color of your skin. Socioeconomics affects everyone, but apparently you're not as smart as the poorest white person. Lady, I don't want to hate you. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up with you. So I know you're very talented. I understand your heart is in the right place, but you are everything you preach against. You're not helping. You're making things worse. You're causing more division. You're causing more fear. Statistically speaking, I am more likely to be shot and killed by my black elderly neighbor across the street than the cop who patrols my neighborhood. Statistically speaking, homicide by cop is very rare, but people like you find power in fear, so you keep it front page news. You don't have to be a white supremacist. You can be better.
Right. Video's over. Thoughts?
My thoughts on it is
Boom.
boom goes the dynamite. Also, whoever that person is,
They're actually quite popular on TikTok.
spot on.
Yeah.
And I wanna go out on a limb and say also, very brave of you.
It is brave.
It is not a popular opinion, or a popular thing to go out against the woke mob as it is. It is insanely brave for somebody to go out with their face, no less, because I can't say that I do it. To basically say what everyone is thinking. But somebody needs to desperately fucking say this, because look, man, y'all are Democrats are fucking racist. There's just no other way about it. They're goddamn racist.
They are. 100%. That person, by the way, is on YouTube as well. They've I don't actually know what they do for content. I can't really comment. I've only got thumbnails and vague titles. But I'll get back to you on that perhaps next week. So
No worries.
Do consider giving him a follow. I did link him.
But I think that honestly, the statement is true, and especially after watching them drag a black senator from the South, yeah, I never want to hear from another fucking BLM protest that they're out to for the rights of all minorities, because everyone knows at this point they are fucking liars. To the point where you couldn't even have the fucking decency to just say, we respectfully disagree with you.
Yeah.
No.
Novel
couldn't
idea.
do it.
Novel idea to them.
Right? I had gone off on a tangent with somebody on Facebook, just in chat, basically saying that I remember the days where I used to be able to actually argue with somebody straight up and be like, I disagree with this socialist economic policy because of this, that, and the other thing. And they're like, I disagree with your capitalist policy because this, that, and the other. And then we would go out to get a drink.
Yeah.
Or we would go get food.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
Mm-hmm. I want to show you an image I've just seen because Biden is trending on the Twitter at the moment for his first 100 days as a graph. It's from the Times in the UK. It says how his first 100 days have been filled compared to Bush, Obama, and Trump. And all I see is a shitload of spoken addresses, which I heard nothing of, and executive orders. And obviously, one playing golf,
orders.
which surprised me.
See here, executive orders, spoken addresses, remarks. Very interesting. So many spoken remarks.
Thing is, spoken remarks could be anything from him simply saying hello, picking up a dandelion for his wife, saying hello, all the way up to this.
You know, somebody had tried to push that it was really wholesome that he did that, and I have to agree.
Oh yeah,
I
did.
I desperately wanted them. I desperately wanted them just to go and retire together.
Thing is, and for the sake of it, people may not know this, Biden, even over here, he has been seen doing that before. So people here just think it's cute, and that's what it is. It's not, you can't really say, hang on, how the fuck did that geriatric manage to do that? No, it's adorable.
No, it is cute, and that's it. That's it. You can have those moments where it's just like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He still can't speak a complete sentence. Okay.
No, but guys, fuck, man, the guy should just retire. I swear to God. But he can't retire now because Kamala is in there.
You said her name wrong.
I don't give a fuck.
Views of Trups are not reflected by a Megon. No.
I am also a minority. I can't be racist.
Oh, don't! Whenever I get bored, I go through the Facebook DMs you send me.
Where I just meme on them like that?
Oh, I just see this really weird LARPer sitting at his desk dabbing.
Yeah, of course. That is exactly what I do. Every time I own the libs, I just dab to myself.
You just dabbed, didn't you? Didn't you?
I did. How'd you know?
It's because there's a little pause the way you spoke. Just before you said dab, you you paused briefly.
Yeah, no, I did. I legitimately did, yes.
Shame.
I feel nothing.
Oh dear.
No, yes, I always dab on them haters. Don't worry.
Grats.
Yes. What is it? Winner, chicken dinner.
What kind of chicken?
Don't know. Whatever Fortnite gives me. That's the meme is that when you win Fortnite, it says winner chicken dinner.
Oh, I have mango chutney chicken I want to have tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that I made you think of that.
Om nom 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 nom.
Food. Anyways, I'm a Hispanic Nazi, Captain Weed. Yo, same. Apparently.
Brats, one of you.
Funny enough, so was Memology 101. He's also a Hispanic Nazi.
Is he? Congratulations.
Yeah. He did a live stream, and he had already shown his face in videos before, but he did a live stream, and he made the joke where he's like, "And somebody calls me a Nazi," and you can hear the accent in his voice as well as like, he's very obviously a Hispanic-looking individual. So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's really funny when they're like, "He's a Nazi, white supremacist," and it's just like, dude, I'm browner than you.
It's just tragic. But then you're at that point, if you don't agree with the government message, I guess you're an Uncle Tim.
Yeah, so I think they use that because his name is Tom Cotton, so they could have literally used his name, but they didn't.
Optics.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to go full racist.
No, they just they'll just
semi-racist.
Yeah, be a more deceptive racist. It's not the real. It's like it's the argument of you can't change definitions of words when it suits us. Okay, so you're essentially calling him an Uncle Tom, which is exactly what you're doing. But because they didn't use the word Tom, it's not racist. Okay, give it time, and Uncle Tim will become the new racist term.
Oh yeah, wait until I guess the people with the opposite opinion start saying it.
Yeah.
And instantaneously it's going to switch. But there will be no accountability for those who said it in the past. No, they're on the right side. And that's the world we live in.
Yeah,
you can do
tragic.
anything with impunity if you are just the right ideology. So, in my opinion, everyone should stock up on bullets. And food.
Food. I'm with you on that. Food. Yeah.
Start crafting your bunkers now. Always ready to be prepared.
I have a cabin. We're golden.
There you go.
Need to get some food though.
But that's all that we have for today. I think. Did you have anything else to add, Meg?
I'm sleepy.
Okay. I'm gonna let Meg go to sleep. So I want to thank you guys all for joining us on this very impromptu Saturday political recap. Thank you for the likes and the donations. I know I don't have anything to shill. Meg, do you have anything to shill?
No.
Meg?
No.
Okay, no. All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us, and we will see you next week. Say goodnight, Meg.
Good night, Meg.